Everyone likes spending money, but a lot of people do it in the dumbest ways possible. I mean, seriously, some of the ways people throw away their hard-earned cash are just mind-blowing. So today we're going over the 10 dumbest ways to spend your money. And trust me, if you're guilty of any of these, it's time to make some changes before you go broke. Let's get right into it. And number one, let's start off with a classic. Buying expensive cars you can't afford. We've all seen it. Someone making $40,000 a year driving a $60,000 car. Newsflash. Just because you can finance something doesn't mean you can afford it. That shiny new car depreciates the moment you drive it off the lot, and you're stuck with crazy monthly payments. If your car is more expensive than your entire annual salary, you're doing it wrong. Your ego doesn't need a luxury car. It needs common sense. Buying a car you can't afford is like setting your money on fire. I'm talking about those folks who lease a car that eats up half their paycheck just to impress their neighbors. Newsflash, your neighbors probably don't care as much as you think they do. A car is more than just transportation for some people. It's a status symbol. But you know what's a better status symbol? Financial freedom. Don't fall into the trap of buying a car to impress others. Instead, focus on buying a car that fits your needs and your budget. Remember, a car is a depreciating asset. Be smart, be practical, and choose financial security over a fancy ride. Number two, maxing out credit cards on unnecessary stuff. Credit cards are great if you know how to use them, but most people max them out on things they don't need and can't afford, all because it's easy to swipe and forget. The interest rates on credit cards are brutal, and before you know it, you're drowning in debt over a bunch of stuff that probably doesn't even matter to you anymore. New shoes, fancy dinners, the latest gadgets, it all adds up fast. And for what? A closet full of things and a mountain of debt. Credit cards offer convenience and purchasing power, but they also come with a lot of responsibility. Used responsibly, they can be a great tool for building credit and earning rewards. You can earn points, cash back, and even travel miles, making your spending work for you. But let's be honest, how many of us are guilty of using them for impulse purchases we totally don't need? It's so easy to swipe or click without thinking about the consequences. But then the credit card statement arrives, and suddenly you're facing a mountain of debt. Those small, seemingly harmless purchases add up quickly. Those must-have shoes that seemed like a steal at 3 a.m. are going to cost you way more in the long run. Interest rates can turn a good deal into a financial burden. And don't even get me started on those buy now, pay later schemes. They make it seem like you're getting a break, but in reality, you're just delaying the inevitable. Ask yourself, do I really need this, or can I afford to pay this off in full? If the answer is no, step away from the shopping cart. It's important to be mindful of your spending habits. Your future self will thank you. Imagine the relief of opening a credit card statement and seeing a zero balance, or better yet, a positive savings account. Trust me, the feeling of financial freedom is way better than the fleeting thrill of a shopping spree. Financial stability brings peace of mind and opens up opportunities for a better future. Number three, impulse shopping for things you don't need. You've done it, we've all done it. That quick scroll through Amazon turns into a shopping spree. You weren't planning on buying anything, but here you are, loading up your cart with random junk. It feels good in the moment. But guess what? Most of that stuff ends up collecting dust or in the trash. Impulse shopping is one of the fastest ways to waste money, and it adds up fast. Learn to think before you click buy now. Impulse shopping is a sneaky beast, whispering sweet nothings in your ear like, you deserve this and treat yourself. The truth is, most impulse purchases end up gathering dust in the back of our closets. So how do you combat this urge to splurge? First, try implementing a 24-hour rule. If you see something you think you absolutely can't live without, walk away. Give yourself a day to think about it. Another tip, unsubscribe from those tempting email lists that bombard you with flash sales and limited time offers. Remember, true happiness doesn't come from a shopping bag. It comes from financial peace of mind. Number four, overpaying for brand name items. Here's the thing, just because something has a designer label slapped on it doesn't make it better. Clothes, food, tech, you name it. Brand name products often aren't much different from generic versions except for the price tag. But people love showing off those labels. Why pay double the price just to wear a logo? That money could be going into your savings, investments, or literally anything that has more value than a designer bag. I mean, seriously, have you ever looked at the price difference between a plain white t-shirt and one with a tiny logo on it? Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying all brand name products are a ripoff, but let's be real. Are you really going to be able to taste the difference between those designer beans and the generic brand? Next time you're tempted to splurge on a brand name, ask yourself, is it really worth the extra cost? Remember, being smart with your money isn't about depriving yourself, it's about making conscious choices that align with your values and your budget. Number 5, gambling or playing the lottery. Let's be real, gambling and the lottery are basically throwing money into a black hole. The odds are never in your favor, but people keep doing it, hoping they'll strike it rich. You're more likely to get struck by lightning than win the lottery, but people drop cash on tickets every week. And don't get me started on casinos or online gambling. If you're serious about building wealth, stop gambling. It's a losing game, literally, I get it. The allure of getting rich quick is hard to resist. But here's the cold, hard truth. The odds of winning the lottery are about as likely as me becoming the next CEO of Tesla. Gambling, whether it's at a casino, online, or buying scratch-off tickets, is designed to be addictive. The house always has an edge, and those flashing lights and celebratory sounds are strategically placed to keep you hooked. If you enjoy the occasional flutter, and you're doing it responsibly within your budget, go for it. But if you're pouring your hard-earned money into slot machines or lottery tickets hoping to strike it rich, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. Building wealth takes time, effort, and smart financial decisions. Number 6, paying for unused subscriptions. Netflix, Spotify, Hulu, gym memberships, you name it. How many subscriptions are you still paying for but never use? If you're like most people, you've probably got a few draining your bank account every month. $5 here, $10 there. It doesn't seem like much until you realize you're wasting hundreds a year on services you don't even touch. Take a hard look at your monthly subscriptions and cut the ones you're not using. You most likely started by signing up for a free trial thinking, oh, I'll definitely use this all the time. But then life happens. You get busy, you forget about it, and before you know it, you're being charged monthly for a service you haven't used since you subscribed. These recurring charges can really add up over time, draining your bank account without you even realizing it. So, how do you stop the subscription bleed? First, take inventory of all your recurring subscriptions. Go through your bank statements, your credit card bills, and your PayPal account. Unsubscribe from anything you're not actively using, no matter how small the monthly fee. Number 7, financing vacations with loans or credit. We all love a good vacation, but financing one, that's a next-level bad decision. If you can't afford to take the trip, don't charge it to a credit card or take out a loan just to get away for a week. You'll come back with a tan and some nice memories, but you'll also be stuck paying off that vacation for months or years after it's over. Travel is great, but debt is not. Putting your relaxation on credit is a recipe for financial stress and regret. The momentary relief of booking that trip can quickly turn into anxiety as the bills start rolling in. The interest rates on travel loans and credit cards can quickly turn that dream vacation into a financial nightmare. High interest rates mean you'll end up paying much more than the original cost of the trip, prolonging the financial strain. So, what's the alternative? Plan ahead and save. By setting a budget and sticking to it, you can avoid the pitfalls of debt. Start by estimating the total cost of your vacation and break it down into manageable monthly savings goals. Create a dedicated vacation fund and start setting aside a little bit of money each month. Use a savings jar, a separate bank account, or a budgeting app to keep track of your progress. It may take a bit longer to reach your goal, but trust me, the feeling of paying for your vacation in cash is way more satisfying than the weight of debt hanging over your head. You'll enjoy your trip more knowing it's fully paid for. Plan smart, save diligently, and enjoy your well-deserved break without the financial hangover. With careful planning and disciplined saving, you can make your dream vacation a reality without the stress of debt. Number 8, constantly upgrading to the latest tech. We live in a world where technology advances at warp speed, and it's easy to get caught up in the hype of the latest and greatest devices. Every year, companies unveil new models with flashy features, making us feel like we need to keep up. But here's the thing, constantly upgrading to the newest iPhone, smartwatch, or laptop is like pouring money into a bottomless pit. The cycle never ends, and it can take a serious toll on your finances. You don't need the newest phone or gadget every time one comes out. If your current tech is working fine, stick with it. Constant upgrades just waste money. Think about it. That brand new phone you just have to have will be outdated in 6 months, replaced by a newer, shinier model with slightly better features. The tech industry thrives on this cycle of planned obsolescence. So how do you resist the siren song of the tech upgrade? It's not easy, but it's possible with a bit of mindfulness and self-control. Ask yourself these questions. Do I really need a new phone, or am I just caught up in the hype? Is my current device still functional and meeting my needs? Will this new gadget significantly improve my life, or am I just chasing the latest trend? Sometimes the allure of new technology can cloud our judgment. Remember, true happiness doesn't come from having the latest tech. It comes from spending your money on experiences, relationships, and things that truly matter to you. Investing in moments that create lasting memories will always be more fulfilling than the temporary thrill of a new gadget. Number 9, eating out all the time instead of cooking at home. We all love the convenience and indulgence of eating out. But here's the thing, eating out all the time is like throwing your money into a deep fryer. It disappears fast and you're left feeling greasy and unsatisfied. That $15 salad you grab for lunch every day adds up to over $300 a month. Now, I'm not saying you should swear off restaurants forever and become a hermit who only eats homemade lentil soup. But being mindful of how often you eat out can make a huge difference in your bank account. Cooking at home doesn't have to be a chore. It can be a fun and rewarding experience. Remember, eating out should be a treat, not a daily habit that drains your wallet and your health. Number 10, throwing big parties you can't afford. Big parties can be expensive. If you're spending more than you can handle to host an event, cut back. You don't need to spend a fortune to have a good time with friends. You don't have to be the host with the most, the one who throws legendary parties that people talk about for years to come. Impressing your guests with an extravagant bash is not worth going into debt for. Those fancy decorations, catered meals, and top-shelf liquor can quickly add up. Get creative with DIY decorations, potluck-style meals, and budget-friendly drinks. Focus on creating a welcoming atmosphere where your friends can relax, have fun, and create lasting memories. Your wallet and your sanity will thank you for it. If you're tired of wasting money on things that don't matter, now's the time to make a change. Start by cutting out these dumb spending habits and watch your financial situation improve. Take control of your spending, set realistic goals, and make smarter choices. Remember, it's not about how much you earn, it's about how you manage it. Thanks for tuning in. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more practical money tips. Let's make smart financial decisions together.